Hello, everyone, and welcome to another movie review. I am happy that you can join me today. At the time I am posting this review, it is November 12th, and it is the 12th anniversary of Nightglow Entertainment. I founded Nightglow on 11/12/2013, and then 4 years later, I created the Nightglow channel on YouTube. I was not planning on posting movie reviews. My goal was to post films and plays. Also, there were a few movie critics on YouTube already, but to my surprise, the channel started growing and there was an audience out there that was interested in what I had to say about movies. So I just wanted to take this chance to say to everyone who has subscribed to Nightglow on YouTube over the past few years, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So let's move on to the next movie review. Frankenstein is considered to be a gothic drama film. It was written, directed, and produced by Guillermo del Toro. Oscar Isaac plays Victor Frankenstein. Jacob Elordi plays the creature Frankenstein invented. Felix Kammerer plays Frankenstein's younger brother William. And Mia Goth plays both Frankenstein's mother and Elizabeth, who is William's fiancée. It is based on Mary Shelley's famous novel that she wrote when she was 18. It premiered at the Venice International Film Festival on August 30th. The movie's marketing campaign sold it as a Netflix movie. I first heard about this movie on Tudum back on June 1st, and at the time, fans saw the first trailer and thought, this needs to be in theaters. So us fans were counting down to November 7th, which is when the movie premiered on Netflix. But when it was time for me to write this movie review and I had to do some online reading about it, I found out it did get a theatrical release. So I went on my Regal Cinemas app to see if it is still in theaters. It is not. So according to my research, this movie had a $120 million budget. It made less than $500,000 at the box office. Last but not least, the movie's running time is 2.5 hours. Now, usually I give a brief synopsis of the movie, but I am going to make an exception in this case because number one, it is a famous story, and two, it is now the number one movie on Netflix. What I will say is, after I saw the movie, I watched the anatomy lesson, which goes behind the scenes and you learn how Del Toro made this movie. I highly recommend you watch the anatomy lesson. It is 45 minutes long and it is really fascinating. Another thing I also recommend that you watch is a new YouTube video that was posted by the Academy this morning. It's about 10 minutes long. In the video, Del Toro explains that he saw an old version of Frankenstein when he was 7, but he read the book when he was 11 and he learned that the movie he watched did not stay true to the book. Frankenstein is a famous villain in movie history, but based on my reading, Mary Shelley wrote the story as a cautionary tale about what happens when humans play God and what would happen if science goes wrong or takes things too far. In addition to that, Del Toro saw a story between fathers and sons. What I find fascinating is during part one, Victor is a victim of his father because you see there is a line between child abuse and discipline. And then after the creature becomes alive, Del Toro makes a smart change to the plot of the novel where you see Victor treating the creature the same way his father treated him. But instead of the creature submitting to Victor, he gets angry and lashes out. As a result, in part two, Victor becomes the villain. The creature becomes the misunderstood victim. One of the most powerful scenes in the movie is when the creature gets misunderstood by people because Victor lied on him, and William gets fatally injured in the process. William tells Victor, "I have always been afraid of you." Victor starts crying. Then William says, "You're the monster." I never thought I would say this, but this movie is inspiring me to read the novel. I gotta go back to the bookstore and buy Frankenstein because I had no idea I could relate to the creature. I understand what it's like to be misunderstood because of circumstances. The creature is misunderstood because, one, Victor lied on him. Secondly, the creature, because the creature looks ugly, people jump to conclusions and assume he's the bad guy. They attack him first and ask questions later. But the more people misunderstand the creature, the more we see humanity behaving badly and barbaric. The only people who show the creature compassion and kindness is a woman and a blind old man. Okay, so I am going to give this movie 5 out of 5 stars. I had to go back to my notes because I was wondering when was the last time I gave a movie 5 out of 5 stars. This is the first movie this year I gave this score to, and we are in November. For me, this is the best movie of 2025 so far. Getting back to the marketing, this movie needed a different marketing campaign. It should have been marketed as a movie that has a theatrical release. When you make a $120 million movie and it grosses less than $500,000 at the box office, it appears as though it is a flop. But this movie is Oscar worthy. It deserves a nomination for cinematography, production design, costume design. Del Toro deserves another Oscar for this movie, and it deserves a nomination for Best Picture. That's 5 categories that comes to mind right now. The cast is excellent. I did not mention before, Christoph Waltz is also in this movie. One of my favorite actors. I wanted to see this movie because I am a fan of Del Toro and Oscar Isaac. But if I was to give an Oscar nomination to an actor, it's Jacob Elordi. The character of the creature made me cry. Jacob Elordi's performance made me cry. By the time I saw the end, the movie ends with a quote from Lord Byron, one of my favorite poets. Quote, "The heart will break, yet brokenly lives on." End quote. I read the quote. I cried again during the closing credits. I was not expecting this movie to hit a nerve. I was not expecting to cry over a character that doesn't even have a name. I thought it was going to be an entertaining horror flick. But nope, Del Toro made another movie that made me cry. And Jacob Elordi is the reason. This year has been a lackluster year when it comes to movies. And there is speculation that the SAG and the WGA strikes back in 2023 played a factor in the movies we got this year. Maybe, I don't know. But I think the next Oscar season might be one of the least competitive seasons in Oscar history. And I don't see the Academy shutting out Frankenstein. Not only did Del Toro make a great film, but he purposely made a movie using little CGI as possible and not relying on AI. Nowadays, a lot of filmmakers are using AI to tell stories. I might have to use AI in the future to tell certain stories in order to cut down costs. And also, people in the music business are now using AI to make music, and people are supporting it. So I think Del Toro choosing to use modern technology sparingly and still hiring people to build sets and still hiring actors instead of using AI avatars, that deserves recognition from the Academy. I'm just saying. But anyway, that is all for today, my friends. If you have not watched Frankenstein yet on Netflix, I highly recommend you watch it. It's a great film. Um, and to all who have already watched Frankenstein, let me know in the comment box below what you thought of the movie, what you like, what you didn't like about it. But yeah, I stand by my grade. I can't believe I said it. 5 out of 5 stars. So you guys take care, and I will see you next time with another movie review. Take care.